about 4 or 5 more hours of playtime in the game. And we're just going to pick up here because, why not? As for this run, I think I'm just going to go with Shauna with the standard. Probably not the revolver. I'll go crossbow here. Have a little fun with it. We're going to be playing on Darkness 6. In the last video, I did mention that these kinds of games were not really my style. I do feel a lot more comfortable after playing this game for 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it may have been, over the last couple of days. Wasn't expecting to pick it up this quick, but then again, I'm probably behind the curve for most people who play this time. So, as for build, crossbow, let's see. I could go for a spam build, a high damage, one-shot fanfire build, I think. I think I'm just going to pick up the dragon egg here. I do like getting it this early because you can absolutely make that thing so strong. Sometimes it doesn't work out though, but it's kind of like investing in yourself when you take it this early. You gotta just play good enough to let it grow. Even though these early levels you're not really taking anything to make yourself stronger. So I do think that this is probably one of the harder builds you could do. I'm sure the crossbow does have some crazy strong setups you can get going, but I have not seen any of them, so I'm kind of running blind here. For a second upgrade, I'm gonna probably try and stay away from summons on this one, and not look to get any elements until later. I do like power shot, bullet damage is just all around good. And then take aim. The assassinate at the end of this tree is what I really want. The rest of this is pretty irrelevant for a crossbow, so I think I'm actually gonna reroll here, see what we can get going a little bit better. I do like quick hands and divine blessing. I'm gonna actually take divine blessing. Hopefully I can avoid damage up until a little later on when I can get some better stats to support. I am notorious for taking very dumb damage on my first hit, just because I've got the holy shield, I'm feeling good, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and I just lost the early upgrade I took for it. But we'll see. I didn't get a chance to show you guys my runes, but obviously you can tell that I'm running the holy shield upgrade that is maxed out. I think I have the one that is directly below that on the left side. I'm not sure what that is, but it is only rank 1. I think it's increased experience, and I heal every 10 levels or something. For this one, I'm actually not really feeling any of these. I do think we are gonna reroll these, and there we go. I actually really like this. Like I said, early dragon, just investing in yourself, trusting yourself to play well enough for that dragon to actually do something later. I'm not sure. It does seem that the crossbow increases its charge time if you take fire rate. I have really only played one game or so with the crossbow, so I'll see what I can get going. I'm probably going to try and get Fusillade. It seems like a pretty sensible option for the crossbow. Just getting wider projectiles here and just doing more with it. Reload rate, always a good thing. I'm not going to pass this up. I think that's a good, solid upgrade. You don't need to reroll that. End up with a much worse one, possibly. I talked about this in the last episode. Unfortunately, Shauna was the only one I had in the last episode, so maybe I should have picked someone different. But the problem with rerolling is if you have a solid upgrade and you reroll, you may end up getting something that's absolutely useless, especially with the crossbow. It's very niche compared to most of the other weapons, it seems. So, I'm not going to be taking magic limbs with the crossbow or electro mage. They're not spammable, like, at least from what I've seen. My entire idea here is that I want to get things that are just good for the crossbow because it's very specific, I think, for the build path that you have to go. And that right there is enough to make my crossbow so strong. That actually feels very good. So that's probably going to be the route that we're taking. High projectiles, high fire rate, maybe even high reload rate, get some fanfire, things like that. Because the crossbow naturally has the high damage. You just kind of have to build around the spammability. As for elements here, I don't actually think any of them are going to work that well for us. Maybe I just haven't seen some of these. I wonder how this works, Siege. I don't think the bouncing really helps. The max ammo could be nice. I could try and get some max ammo out of this. Dragon Bond is too early to take care of. I think it actually is very good. I'm not interested in Pyro Mage. We're gonna reroll. Split Fire, pretty good. Magnetism, always good. Divine Wrath, if I don't get hit, probably better, but I'm gonna take Split Fire here. I mean, a free projectile when you don't have that many is pretty strong. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to charge with my, it doesn't charge it with my other shot, which is, I think, bad. I was hoping it would charge with it, you know, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But we'll make do. It still is good damage, 19 damage. That'll scale up to the other upgrades I take. Hopefully I get, you know, Reaper rounds or something like that, and that'll probably be enough to put me over the edge. Gun Mastery later on, I expect to use that. This is a build that it's probably going to be heavily oriented towards the crossbow itself and not, you know, summons, elements, anything like that. Stalwart Shield, probably pretty good here. I don't think I need... There's really no reason not to take this, right? Like, I don't need the damage, but increased bullet damage for 50% pretty much every shot until I get a bigger clip. But then it's, you know, first shot and a bunch of damage. I'm going to take that. There we go. Oh, yeah, it does seem to be helping quite a bit. I do think I have to, like, almost instantly shoot, though, right? It is possible because I feel like it's going to die very fast. I don't know how long the charge for the whole thing takes. I wonder. Ooh, that's sick. There's my dragon. How's the damage going? Yeah, the damage is pretty solid already. One thing that's really nice about the crossbow is you can kind of kite out early all the mobs and just charge it up, get a nice shot across all of them. I think I'm going to take the Train Dragon here. Like I said, investing in the dragon and just makes it easier myself. And I think the fact that I haven't lost my Holy Shield yet is a pretty good sign. Oh, that is unfortunate, actually. This is not what I wanted to see. It's probably the least desirable of all the traits. I actually cannot believe I did not take damage there. I should definitely be punished for just standing here like an idiot, but here we are. Shunna's Halo, all around a good upgrade, but I think the investment for it makes it not worth, especially for early game. Like, I guess, I mean, I can say the same argument about the dragon, right? But I think that I probably will try and pick him up if I don't see anything good without rerolling. It's over time, you know, it's an investment I'm going to have to make, and I'm probably going to get eventually. Plus, the completed form is pretty strong. I'm not sure how well it synergizes with the crossbow, but I'm pretty sure it's heavy reload rate. I know it's heavy fire rate if I'm not mistaken, and that seems pretty useless, but maybe we'll find a use for that later on. Maybe after this second boss that'll mean something. Doubt we're going to be doing anything towards clip size, but I mean, even this one plus 2 ammo, probably pretty good. See, this is the problem I see here. I don't see myself getting, you know, 7-8 kills per clip. That's probably my peak, actually, towards the later half of this game, unless I'm heavy on summons. So this tree doesn't seem too good to me. I am gonna reroll here. I don't like that, and this is what I mean. Just gonna end up taking something out of you know, kind of settle with it instead of making myself that much stronger. It probably was the right choice to take, you know, plus 2 to a clip. It is really good by itself, reload rate as well, but it's just the tree there doesn't seem to offer me that much. I was actually kind of fishing for a Halo piece. I already took one of them, so it wouldn't be that bad to just take a second. But here we are, getting punished for that reroll. Shouldn't have been greedy, but we are still in a very comfortable spot. Our dragon's doing a lot of damage. We have, you know, just a standard amount of damage coming from the crossbow. And I actually think, you know, just take the Halo. Why not? Alright, I went fishing for it. Might as well take it now. So, unironically, I say unironically because it goes in every build, Frost would be very good for bosses with the crossbow. Even though it doesn't stop them that much, I can actually stack this with the dragon to take, I think it's called the Frostfire or something. Just stack a whole bunch of burn Burn does stack, if you didn't know, and it is very, very strong at taking down bosses. It probably, you know, out of all the builds I've ran, I actually haven't ran that many Frost builds. Most of my winning builds have been Burn builds. Scarlet with the flame gun. I actually ran a Burn build with a shotgun on Diamond, which worked really well. And then also with the back gun, I actually ended up doing probably more flame damage than summon damage, just because of the amount of damage that deals on bosses. I think that Burn does struggle with huge crowds. I mean, it'll kill in late game if you get the right things, but early on you can't just entirely rely on it. I'm actually going to go look for that last Halo piece. No luck. And haste is always good, right? Like just running around faster. Like I said, I'm not going towards summons. This would be safe, but I'm doing pretty well so far. Knock on wood. But I don't think I need to take, you know, a minute recharge until I really feel like I need it. So fire rate here. Really no reason to worry about that as far as I know. Bullet bounce not going to happen. Tome of speed, I actually think that would be too much speed and would probably get me killed. I have done that to myself before, just running around too fast, can't dodge, especially later on. And you will see later on with some of these massive amount of mobs that get going, that they are almost, I would say, even borderline impossible to dodge. I do think that actually some scenarios are impossible to dodge out of without shooting, no matter how much speed you have, but we will see how that pans out here. The crossbow doing a lot of damage still, but you're starting to see how it's not getting through all of them. That's probably just for me not really charging it up enough. So we're going to keep going here. I do think Dragon Bond at this point is not a bad option. Watch and Learn, pretty solid, but I don't think it adds enough. Fusillade is kind of what I'm going towards here. I've already got the split fire, but Fanfire could be good. I think I'm just once again reroll for that Halo piece. No luck. It's kind of rough. Okay, so these three are out, right? I'm looking at Power Shot or Dragon Bond. Power Shot gets me closer to Reaper rounds. I don't need the piercing from this tree, but it does do damage, a lot of damage. Fire rate, like I said, pretty ignorable. And then Dragon Bond, I think Dragon Bond, you know, pick up later, it'll be better. Not like it doesn't scale anyways, but... And sorry for clearing my throat so much. I am still on the back end of this goal that I was talking about a little earlier. It was pretty bad. It took me down for like a whole week, unfortunately. But it was, you know, time passed. A lot better now, so. We are probably looking at Splinter here, just getting closer to those Reaper rounds. Run and gun, pretty good. I think this works well charging. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's the same thing as, you know, holding the left click on an SMG. So that could be pretty strong. But I think also unnecessary. Oh, I'm so tempted to reroll here. I think I'm actually going to do it. I need to stop doing that. But this is the same tree. Actually, I think better side of it. So, okay, we'll settle. It's pretty good. And this is where it kind of starts to get sticky, right? So soon we'll see the big mobs, right? And I'm not worried about the big mobs because I have the crossbow. But the amount of big mobs, if they take more than one shot, will probably end up overwhelming me and causing me to take damage. And eventually just lose the run. So far, playing very solid. Do not normally do this. Normally, I have lost my shield several times, if not health. But, you know, if I get the right things rocking here, I could actually look at a no damage run just by getting lucky and, you know, getting the right things. Here we go. And there's Shauna's Halo. It pops on the ground in case you guys weren't aware. Fire rate 50%, pretty ignorable. Reload rate 50%. Vision range 75%. So that is pretty sick. I want to get away from those guys shooting the red balls. So one thing I've thought about too is I like to, you know, go for achievements, and I've been looking for the achievements. There's one for taking no damage through the whole run, and I've kind of been trying it on every run a little bit here and there, you know, just see how long I can go without taking damage. But I don't really dip the darkness a little, but it's definitely probably the way to go to get that achievement, right? Like, no reason not to go back to Darkness 0 and just find, you know, some overpowered build, like the ice build, the splinter build, the fire builds I've been telling you about. Oh my goodness, cannot believe we did not take damage there. And reroll once again. There it is, Reaper rounds. It's kind of what I was looking for. I am still looking for Fusillade. It is still on the table. I do not have it, which is a shame. But with Donatello, I mean, the increase in fire rate does help the charge time. Negated that by taking the Reaper tree altogether. I'm taking damage. Oh my goodness, there it is. Not damage, but losing the shield there. To be expected. I'm surprised it lasted that long. With it still up. So we're gonna see what we can do here to avoid taking damage as long as possible. And I actually think we're in a pretty good spot. You can see the damage in my... Well, jinxed it, knock on wood, am I right? You can see the damage that my Dragon Lord is doing, it's pretty solid. So, that's just kind of what I was talking about with the investment there. Over time, you know, it pays off and becomes a lot more worth it. Dragon Bond here is probably a very good time to take it, but Armed and Ready is also looking a lot better with max ammo. So we're gonna grab that here. Like I said, still looking for Fusillade, and eventually, because of the fact that I think this build will probably be on the weaker end of viable builds, I want to look for, I don't even know what it's called, Pyromaniac, whatever heals you when you inflict burn. We've got some good burn coming out from our dragon here, so I think that that'll work. We could also look for regeneration if that's just not popping out, but I think more burn would be better. Like I said, it synergizes well with our dragons. That's the goal, but you know, RNG sometimes those things don't pan out. And I want to take it at the right time, right? I don't want to just force it. Kill clip here. I don't really see a need for reload speed. I could do take aim. I do want to get that assassin, but I don't think it's crucial right now. Fanfire, probably not a bad choice. That's actually what we're going to take. Running gun was there as well. Probably, arguably a better option to avoid damage, but I think that this option here is just fine. It's kind of just, you know, a preference at that point, I think. Running gun probably keeps me away from danger, or easier to maneuver around danger. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. Let's see how well. Okay, that wasn't that long of a charge to be able to kill those. But if I'm not getting my dragons up, and it does seem like my crossbow alone struggles to kill some of them. But if I charge it, it should be fine. Yeah, we're looking like pretty comfortable right now. I don't think we're in the place we need to be to win this right now. I'm a little concerned about that. We'll see how that pans out as like these next few upgrades. Fusillade, a big one that we haven't seen yet, and kind of starting to hurt. Maybe we'll get lucky here. Pyromage, as I said, I want to start getting to the soothing warmth. Called it Pyromaniac. It's pretty much the same thing if you don't think about it. Recharge, this could be very strong with the crossbow, picking up XP to reload. Probably something to look at later, but for now, I think let's settle with Pyro. And there is a heal, I think from the runes I have. Well, it has to be from the runes I have. Nothing else would heal me right now. So, I don't know exactly which one it is or what its exact effect is, but it was the strongest of the three, I felt. There's one that gives you, I think, brief invincibility or something, the one that, like, revives you. So, there were good options. I don't think that most of those would help me that much. So, I just went with the healing. You know, sometimes, you know, if in a bad spot, you take some dumb damage, and I don't want to always have to build for healing in my build. So, that should be enough to kind of get us through. It's also the reason I like the Holy Shield. With it, I don't know if you guys can tell this, but I have movement speed on XP pickup. It does seem to be very good. I pretty much rely on it every single game to get early dodges out and not have to pick up any move speed buffs. Move speed buffs are pretty strong. However, if you can avoid taking them early, I think it's better for farming kills to get more XP, which I think is like kind of like the name of the game, right? If you're trying to get high level and keep the run, you want to kill as many people as you can early while they're easy, get yourself ahead of the curve, then kind of be able to chill on the back end, right? This boss is not beating me. I am struggling to actually damage him, I think. It's kind of hard to tell. And that is some more damage there that's not very good. I think we're actually kind of getting close on him. We'll hope. I think probably a few more shots here. It does feel like we've hit a lot. We are... Oof. Barely made it out of that one. And I did not make it out of that one. This might be looking like the end of the run here. I can't figure out how to get this guy. Now, what am I looking for from him? It has to be, you know, triple effect of the next time I get it. If it's not, if it's just experience gain, I don't actually think... I am kind of hinting for this, aren't I? Ooh, it's not what I want to see. Not what I want to see, but we're gonna make do. We're gonna make do. Mini clip. Okay, so I did take +2 to the clip, and I do like it, but I think mini clip is just strictly better, right? The charge time is like the same as the reload time, so I can just do so much more damage. Yeah, this is feeling a lot stronger already. Probably one of the things we need to kind of break this run open. Fanfire also doing a lot more too. I don't know how the crossbow works. I have not been paying attention, but I don't think I've actually seen Fanfire proc at all. So that leads me to believe that it's probably reloading while I was charging. But there it is. There's the death. Unfortunately, made it. But 6 minutes and 41 seconds left. So not quite what I needed there, but it is what it is. And I will be right back before we start this next run, but assure you, we are probably going to run one more at least. Alright, we are back and ready to go. Had to take a second, my throat's been really messing with me, so I took a second, clear that out, and also said hello to my girlfriend who just got home from work. This run, that one did not go well, right? So, well, I think it went alright. This run, we're going to try and do something a little different. I think we're going to probably go for a summon build, right? You guys aren't aware, there's actually an achievement to do a summon build with absolutely no shooting. So, from what I know, summons scale based off your damage of your gun. So I'm going to take the grenade launcher here with Hina. I think Hina is actually the only one it's possible to do this with, as far as I know. Because there's no way to deal damage prior to having a summon, except through her right-click ability. So we're actually going to do this. We're going to drop this down to Darkness 1. I think this is probably the best option. Probably an argument to be made for Darkness 0, but spawning small enemies I don't think is an issue. And this way we have the opportunity to kind of get more XP early on because of these increased spawns. I don't know if this is the right play, but I guess we'll find out, right? If I can ever do it on this Darkness. I have given this run a few attempts, and from what I can see is I think it's very RNG based, you know, as I've mentioned in the last run about getting that early dragon, investing in yourself. It seems to be what this run is about, right? Getting that early dragon egg and just letting it farm up as fast as possible when you know, kill things a little slower early on. So Ghost Friend, if you haven't used them before, is actually relatively strong for as simple as it seems. I actually think this familiar is very good early. It's got piercing shots and just a high base damage, so everything about it is kind of strong. Now, if you aren't aware, there is the glare ability in the game. So what glare does is everything within inside your vision range, well, according to the tag, everything inside your vision range takes damage every second. And eventually, through that tree, you can get glare to apply on-hit effects from elements. So that is probably what we're going to be doing here. Although Electromage does not work with this, the ability to get to the other familiar is still good. So we're going to keep that here. We're going to take that. So one of the things about that too is it does not seem to work properly. I'm not sure if that's intended because it'd be too strong, but glare does not actually hit everything inside your vision range as it says. Either that or I have a messed up interpretation of the vision range, but from my understanding it's, you know, everything within, you know, a few feet of you. Everything is more clear, I guess. In sync here, this is pretty good for, you know, the Ghost Friend. Unfortunately, I would like to get a second one, probably a Magic Dagger or the Dragon Egg, like I said, investing. But it does not seem like I'm going to be able to do that this early. I think there is an argument to be made too that if you're genuinely trying this achievement, that if you don't get an early Dragon Egg, you probably just scrap it. But I find failing on these runs just as fun as playing the game and succeeding. I think that being able to win every run is fun, but also not what it's about. I don't know why I got healed there, if I'm honest. Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually forgot to take another look at my runes to see what that one really did. Here, as you can see, we're calling down lightning every so often. As a result of our holy shield. So if I lose my holy shield, I do lose a lot of my damage. So that's really what the main reason for protecting it right now is, playing a little safe, not using my clone as often. Man, I'm not liking a little this. Like Ghost Friend, yeah, it's gonna pop off, but it's just not enough by itself to really deal with all this. Especially if this first boss shows up and I haven't gotten really anything to help it. That is losing my holy shield like an idiot. 1-1. Do not like dashing. Dashing causing me to take a lot of dumb damage, and oftentimes lose things like my holy shield, or even lose a run. I have lost quite a few runs from just taking damage dashing and taking this challenge. So yeah, you can just see how brutal this run is right now. I actually have enough damage. That was just dumb damage to take there, but I'm not too worried. If you think about it like this, health is kind of, you know, a resource for these runs, as long as you don't lose it all. So I guess running through there, this will probably do a pretty good chunk of damage to them. There we go, get some nice XP back from that lost health, but we are gonna be just fine, I think. Well, if we can get some of the better summons here. Also, if you have not played Kina or Kino, or the name, she does get very, very strong upgrades through the bosses for her Shadow Clone, ones that will triple the attack speed of her clones. I have not found a good way to use these yet, but I know there's a way. The fact that it attacks so fast and does so much damage, I think, is probably what you rely on. I do not like these. I'm probably just going to take haste here, right? I don't think there's really any other option. I don't know if Big Shot scales my summon damage at all, but... And unfortunately, this run, with every minute that passes, is getting more and more tragic. Because here's the first boss, and we do not have a dragon yet. We start scaling. The dragon really does become your main source of damage later on, from what I can tell. Obviously, I have not beat the run, so I could be completely wrong. But holy shit, I'm gonna end away the run like an idiot. And that is the first boss down. Hina is now invincible during attack. Hina's dash deals damage equal to her bullet damage. That seems pretty good. I've actually never had this one. This early. Whoa, I don't think at all, actually. Now that I think about it. Actually, what am I doing? I almost said the wrong thing. Light weaponry here. This magic dagger is insane. Not good for targeting, but just good for clearing. It will definitely help with these huge crowds that we're going to start experiencing here in a little. Holy shield now back up. The lightning is doing a lot of damage, and that is very helpful. We are going to run around here, try and do what we can to get more XP. Try and look for the Dragon Egg, as I've been saying. Just keep repeating. It is pretty important for the survival of this run, I think. So, there it is. That's all we were looking for there. So now it is a matter of getting the ones that help it scale and surviving. That, you know, easier said than done, of course, but I think that the invincibility is not one I've actually had an attempt with on these, so I think that that's probably a pretty good sign that we can make something happen here. So, as you can see, my daggers are popping off, not using my clone at all to deal damage, but what I will have to start doing, I think, is start to train these guys through my clone to kind of speed this up a little. As of right now, the XP is a little too spread out. At each dragon, like I said, you just got to start scaling this thing. Both of these things help increase the power over time, the 10% attack speed every 60 seconds, and the 8 damage. It does still work if the dragon is in the egg. Unfortunately, if you don't take it until, you know, right now, the scaling doesn't start until right now. So we're a little behind the curve. if you get lucky, you can get Dragon Egg, you know, level 1, and one of the scalers on level 2, and that you're typically level 3, so you take 2 upgrades by 19 minutes. So I'd be 4 minutes ahead. I have, you know, 32 damage on it or 40% attack speed. But here we are with a fresh start, no catch dragon in second boss. So we'll just kind of have to make do. I think another option we have as an out. Dude, I haven't even gotten to Glare yet. I haven't even thought about this. My run feels pretty weak the more I think about it. So we're just not gonna think about it. I think another out would be possibly just stacking a bunch of damage and trying to rely on this dash. I don't think it's viable though. I don't think I can actually get enough damage through my bullets to hit. He has a lot of damage for him. 228. I feel there we go. And it doesn't take damage like that. This is really good. Alright, we're actually probably going to try and abuse this as much as possible. This seems like the way to go, right? I mean, you just gotta be careful where you're ending up at the end. You're probably gonna be alright. As long as we're looking, you know, far enough ahead. One trick too, if you don't know this, you can stand still and figure shadow clone down. So, not ideally what you want to do, especially against this boss, but later on I've actually used this against swarms when you just kind of have no option. Especially because of the fact that I've never gotten the invincibility dash. So I think that would probably help a lot. Dragon Bond here, I think it's going to be pretty important later on with that invincibility dash that deals my bullet damage. But I don't think, besides that, I don't think we really have a use for it anytime soon. Here we are, we're going to be trying to get summon damage from this boss. I think he's probably about to get done soon. Hard to say though, right? You never really, there's no health bars in this game, you never really know how many things are actually doing. There it is. Dash through them, knock them out. Genuinely, these are probably the 3 best options we can be given. There's an argument to be said for the Tome of Power, but Tome of Summoning is what we're going to be going with here. Obviously, losing reload rate does not affect us at all. So, make do with it. Ghost is going to do a lot more with that. Unfortunately, not enough to just kind of carry us through, but both the damage and the attack speed help, so that's nice. Also, one thing, if you haven't noticed, but attack speed helps with the dagger's movement speed, so you can see it flying around a lot faster now. So we are going to be looking to pick that second dagger, which I don't even think we have unlocked yet. I think we need to get the scythe or something else, which is the summon damage. I would like both of those. So this is actually good, because it works with Glare, but I think up until... I think we're just gonna take Glare here, right? Like, Freeze doesn't do anything for us until we have Glare, where it applies the on-hit effects of your bullets. Watch and learn. The pickup range is nice, but I don't need it. So I think I'm just gonna take Glare. Glare probably not gonna do much for us at this point. It is good early, but if you know something sneaks through with a little bit of HP, Glare might save us a hit or two. So we're gonna appreciate it for that. Also, Glare, I genuinely feel like is so close to being overpowered, but not quite there from what I've been able to get to work. Because you can get it to deal all on hit, you can get it to deal double damage, and you can also get it to attack twice as fast, right? So damage Glare occurs twice as often. I feel like when you stack this with the magnet tree, which gives you more vision range, if this actually worked as intended, this thing would be broken. It says all enemies within your vision range, like I said earlier. It doesn't always seem to do that for some reason. I'm not sure if I'm just mistaking vision range somehow, but it doesn't seem to be directly in front of you or which way your character's facing. I can't seem to figure it out. So, summon damage plus 40%. Unfortunately, I would like the other Glare benefits, but that's just too good, right? Like, you can't just ignore summon damage. We are looking pretty solid here. This is probably one of the stronger runs I've had, and it's unfortunate knowing that I think it's still weaker because of the fact that we didn't do better dragons, or at least it will be weaker later on. It did lose us about 4 minutes of scaling, but we will make do. If that makes the difference between a one run and lost run, I'd be very surprised. I think the only difference here would be my play, stuff like that. We definitely got these stronger with 2 rewards from the first boss upgrades. So we definitely have a strong case here to make it all the way. That doesn't do much for me. Power shot, not really interested. Probably way later if we finished all our others. Divine Blessing, this is pretty good because it gets us to stalwart shield, but we do have Divine Wrath, so we don't really need it. Move speed plus 25 is nice, but when you lose that, it kind of just throws you off. So I'm just going to take the damage of Glare double here. Pretty solid, and I think will be enough to kind of get us through some of these. As you can see the glare applying itself sometimes, right? But not to everything, and also not doing enough to actually kill it, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to rely on our dash, our dragon, our ghost, and the dagger. We're looking for the scythe and the double dagger as of right now. Vitality is not a bad option. Magic lens. So this is a little fun fact. Dragons projectiles does count through magic lens, so I will be taking it here, and it does scale off summon damage, and it does also like increase my dragon's damage, so it's pretty insane. I don't know roughly how stingy, I guess, it is to actually count what goes through and what doesn't, so it's been kind of hard to tell, but I have seen it do increased damage. Here we go, Magic Scythe, pretty good. Orbital there, moving around pretty quick, so probably not going to just be able to control it, but it will help things getting too close. And we are looking at our next, not our next boss I don't think, but our next kind of difficulty increase in another minute with those stronger units coming out. So we're going to try and get as ready for those as we can. Energize does nothing. Dragon Bond's pretty good. Take aim does nothing. Divine Blessing, probably, you know, a backup. Plus 2 bounce does nothing. So we're gonna take Dragon Bond here. Like I said, don't really need it. Not doing too much. I actually just lost my shield, so probably can do that dash. It's pretty ignorant, but it is what it is. Don't think I need it right now. Could end up needing it later. The dragon damage is insane. You can just see how much this is doing. I have no... Okay, so you can see, I think those are the ghost orbs going through. Yeah. I can keep increasing it. Wow, look at that. That's incredible. I did not know that. Wait, okay, so what if I did this, right? Are those infinite? Can I just keep running on this ball until I make it so big that nothing can hit me? Oh, it does have a limit. Oh, that would be cool. I just thought I'd mess around there. That would be pretty crazy if that worked though. Totally did not. I might have been the biggest brain player if that works ever to exist. Running through still pretty solid. I actually feel very strong right now, so this is a very good sign. Now we need to start preparing for, you know, those bigger enemies, the stronger enemies. Plus 2 bounce does nothing for us here. Lightning strikes an enemy does nothing. Bullet speed, probably something to be said for that. Power shot, probably something to be said for that. And watch and learn, I think, is probably just the best option here. Increase that vision range. Like I said, don't really know how it works, but if it deals more damage, it's probably the right choice. Or it deals damage in a bigger radius. That, you know, all increases our DPS. So, looking pretty solid right now. I need to get more XP to try and get the double daggers at this point, I think. Also, burn. And there's really no reason to take burn, right? Oh no, I guess there is to increase burn damage for a dragon, but other than that, I can't really think of a reason to take it. Twice as often, pretty good. Double dagger, probably the better option. So we're gonna stick with that. And here in a couple minutes is where it's gonna get really froggy. This is where it's gonna become very difficult to survive. We're gonna get swarmed by these guys, and it'll be the true test of how strong our build is. Right now, my strategy is probably just to run with my dragon firing ahead of me, because those seem to be doing enough damage to one shot. But if that does not work, then I do not think we can stand in the middle as we get swarmed. I think we will actually just die. So we're gonna have to come up with something, right? But as of right now, I'm gonna stick. Maybe I'll get behind my magic lens and just run behind that, right? I mean, it goes 360, so it doesn't work perfectly, but I think it'll work. Let our ghost friend carry us through, right? The most unexpected carry of all time. Alright, this It's getting a little dicey. I don't like those red balls. I often take quite a bit of damage to them, just not paying enough attention. Walk speed doesn't really help us. And in the wind, bullet damage and move speed. Bonus resets when you get hit. 40 seconds without getting hit. That's pretty good. That's pretty easy, yeah. There's something to be said for this. Gosh, this is a tough one, right? Bullet damage, straight up better. Frost Mage, I think, would probably be what would save us, though. And did I just lose a shield? I don't know if I had or not. It seems like I just got bounced on something there, so I might have just taken damage. Or lost a shield. Obviously didn't take damage, I can see that in full. Which, now that you think about it, I did just take damage. I was gonna say something very stupid, and I got punished for it. Oh man, I'm just... all videos, the backfire of bad time talking about taking damage. I was gonna say, I don't think we've taken damage because we haven't taken any health upgrades, but... oh my god, that was fast. That was fast. There it is, what I was talking about. Shadow clone 3 times faster. That is fucking great. The only reason I don't just sit on that and let that carry me is because of the fact that these guys shoot their little red balls. But it does seem pretty strong. In fact, I want to see if I can get something to play. Alright. Yeah, that's some insane damage. Like I said, we're doing pretty good right here. This might be the run that I do it. No shooting. Funny enough, I've had some very strong runs very similar to this, and I've accidentally shot. I do not think that'll happen here. But, you know, never say never, right? I could throw it all away. I actually want both the Electro Bug and the Ice Shard here. Wait, why did I take the Ice Shard? Like, it doesn't work with my build. Oh well. Ice Shard, if you don't know, when you fire the last ammo in your clip, you shoot out shards of ice in a circle around you that can apply the freeze effect. It's pretty good, pretty strong. So, all around, it's a pretty good thing to have. However, it does not really work with builds. The one positive I can say about it is it does get us around that tree to get that final, which is Shatter. All enemies that are hit by freeze, when they die, deal 10% of their max health to all surrounding enemies. That's pretty strong. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that I have one of the rune power-ups that gives a 5% chance to hop the freeze or burn than the person next to them. So maybe I could get something to pop off here. Okay, so this is Shatter here. This is what I'm talking about. Enemies affected by freeze explode when killed, deal damage to nearby enemies equal to 10%. Now, when an enemy is inflicted with freeze, they lose 15% of their max HP. Don't think I'm inflicting freeze enough. I'm just go Shatter. So if I do, I'm dealing 10% of their health around. I don't know if my dragon can inflict freeze, and I don't think. Okay, it does look like it. Either that or my ghost orb is, but something is inflicting freeze. It is pretty strong. I'm not relying on my glare alone, which is good. Good news. If I was relying on glare, I don't think our freeze would be popping that much, and that entire tree probably wouldn't be that crucial to the sticker. I do think that if it didn't, glare might be the difference between, surviving or dying, because, you're relying on it to apply those freezes. And really, save your ass at the last second. Here we see sight, magic, vision, range, 15%. Damage from glare applies on hit effects from your bullets. We have not had this yet so far, so I guess it didn't really matter if I had freeze or not. But, well, I mean, obviously it did because it applies from other things, but from what the previous conversation I was having, that does not seem to be affected by glare at all. So we are going to see if that probably won't do much at this point in the run. It does seem like my dragon is doing most of the damage, my other summons, and I have my shadow as backup, but it does seem like I'm getting through these guys pretty easy. Just gotta be careful not to take any dumb damage, walk into enemies, get too aggressive, or get hit by any of the red balls. Igniting Lens, this is pretty sick. It does work, but I do need to take Pyro Mage so I can get a 35% burn damage. Not that it matters that much as of right now, but when a boss comes, which is in 40 seconds, will matter quite a bit to try and get that 35% free burn damage from my dragon. It will absolutely melt those bosses, as you saw with the last one. And it's probably, the lifeline that I'll rely on to get through it. This run's looking pretty good. I don't think there's too much else to make myself pop off. There's always some good upgrades that you can always take, I mean, if nothing else, take Vitality, right? There's Summon Mastery at the same time as Firestarter and Saccade. All of these are actually incredible, but obviously not going to pass up on Summon Mastery. I don't know what the last one I was waiting on did that well. I haven't actually learned any of the synergies and like what you need for each one, but oh goodness, did that just kill a tree? See how fast I kill this thing. I have not killed this thing that fast before. Like, this is actually relatively tanky. That was pretty quick. It was probably up there. Probably maybe one of my fastest kills. I don't think it is my fastest. I also think that I got hit by one of the red balls here. But Tome of Elements, Tome of Rage, really no reason. Tome of Speed, not bad, but not good. Tome of Elements, obviously, will be what we're going with. Makes Burn, Freeze, and Lightning last 35% longer. Don't really know how that affects Lightning, but what's written on it does affect Burn quite a lot. Does help Burn quite a lot because you're dealing a lot more damage. Probably getting an extra few ticks out of that. So, I don't know what the base is, probably 5 or 6 ticks. You're probably getting 2 ticks out of that, which, when you stack a lot of Burn on, especially on a boss, can be 200, 400 damage a tick, even. If you really get it stacked up. If not, I mean, even just 50 damage a tick, you're getting an extra 100 damage if you're not even able to hit them. This boss does not stand a chance, I can tell you that right now. Out of all the bosses, that one always feels so weak when I face it. Nice, I automatically reload my gun after my next dash. That's exactly what I was looking for, actually. I'm feeling pretty confident. Like I said, there's always a chance to throw just letting, little red balls hit you running the enemy. But I actually think that we are going to get this without firing a gun a single time. Darkness 1 difficulty, probably not. It still could not be the best option. It may be worse than straight up just going Darkness 0, but I do like the fact that it's one more smaller enemy. I think it's the secret to kind of getting your level up early and being able to deal with those enemies later on. I genuinely believe that Darkness 1 is easier than Darkness 0. Maybe I just say that because when I started on Darkness 0, I had no background in these kinds of games. Frostfire there, inflicting freeze, also inflicts burn. As I was saying, when I started this game, I had no background in these kinds of games. I was taking a lot of dumb damage. I struggled to get past 5 minutes, but now with more practice, it's seemingly become a lot easier. In my last 10 runs, I've probably won, well, actually, probably half, probably 50% of my last runs. I don't think I've had that many runs. This game does take a while to do each run. And I am only Darkness 6 total. So, I early on I did bring it back a little just to get more practice, but there's really no reason to take any of this, right? Like, I guess pickup range would be nice, but Vitality would be like kind of the guarantee. You have 3 minutes left. I'm not getting too cocky, and we'll take the Vitality instead. Pickup range would be nice, see what level I can reach and see how strong I can get. It's what I would do on a typical run, but because this is a no-shot run, I don't want to risk it. We'll take the Vitality here and humble myself to ensure that I make it through. You know how clutch that'd be if I made it through with 1 health because I humbled myself to do that. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case, so maybe next time I'll tell myself that I never ended up beating it and then get punished for it. Magic Lens, I think, has actually been one of the unsung heroes of this runners. Magic Lens is actually insane. It's been, I think, not buffing every shot, but buffing it, like, I mean, we've seen some of these Ghost Orbs that come out. I don't really know what they've been doing. I don't know how much damage they're actually causing, but the fact that you're noticing it when there's been no play around it is, I think, a pretty good sign that it's doing its job. Igniting Lens will actually allow Ghost Orbs to apply burn on hit. At this point, there's really no reason to worry about what I'm getting. It's a 1 run, as far as I'm concerned. But we're just looking at different ways to make your builds even stronger. I have maxed out Frost Tree, I've got maxed out Fire. Well, no, I guess I don't have the maxed out Fire Tree, I don't have Soothing Burn. I have a couple of the Electric Tree, but most of this is all summons, right? This is probably actually a better choice than any of these other ones. Yeah, that's definitely what we're gonna be going with here. I don't like giant because it makes you slower, but and also I think that with the increased size, your hitbox is bigger, which is just objectively bad. But I think that with the amount of time we have left, if I just focus on these little red dots that fly across my screen, and I have so much trouble seeing dodge most of the time, then I should get it. Yeah, this is just a slaughter at this point. This is a one run through and through. Also, because it is popped up, this is probably the worst upgrade I can imagine. Why would you ever want? I mean, yeah, you get double effects, but it's halved. But if you're playing around this, it makes it much more like tunnel vision, and I think you would have to either have like a really high burst build in one direction and just follow your focal point at all times, or it just becomes half as, I mean, probably equivalent, but you're not going to be focusing on this, right? Like, it's just there, so it's getting hit half as often. Soothing Warmth. Actually, let's take Saccade, whatever it may be. I don't even know what that means. I've never seen that word before. But this Saccade will probably do absolutely nothing. Soothing Warmth, same boat though. Chance to heal me if I did get hit. It's impossible. Not likely. There goes my holy shield as I dodged into one of the balls. But this is looking pretty simple here. There's the option to take it again into the wind or in the wind. I do like that. I actually almost took this way earlier. Increases bullet damage. We are not using a right click ability whatsoever, which I think is for the best. I probably just end up getting damaged a lot more this run if I did. I think it is very useful if you need it, but if you pop off like this, you don't really need to rely on that right click. And also turns out I was completely wrong about the Dragon Egg coming in late and mattering that much. It obviously is doing so much damage. I think that's saying 1600 damage. Probably something. I can't tell. There's obviously so much of this, and I'm taking a lot of dumb damage. Shit. Let's just take regen, I guess, because it's taking damage. I mean, only 15 seconds left. I'd be very surprised if we could take 4 hits in 15 seconds left. Let's make it 5 just in case. I'm notorious for taking dumb damage. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And boom. That is the Pacifist achievement. You guys can't see it on screen because I have overlays turned off, but down there in the right hand corner, I got the Pacifist achievement completed. And a pretty good run all the way around. Level 37, 10,000 enemies killed, not too bad. And it was all done on Darkness 1 with the grenade launcher. I think that is probably the best strat. Hina with the grenade launcher. Here are the runes I was running. 5, 5, 5, 1, and 5, 5, 5, 1. So, it does take some investment to get here. These probably did help me a lot. Healing 1 HP. I don't think mattered too much. The 4% more experience probably did help a lot. The blessing definitely helps. This is probably the most insane rune I've played with. Momentum, I really like this rune. This has made it so much more comfortable to dodge and pick up XP and just kind of, you know, it's called momentum for a reason, right? And then vigilance, vision range, pickup range. This helps with the glare, but I just genuinely like the pickup range buff. These two combined just definitely make you very strong early. Power, bullet damage, and summon damage, 2% per rank. Obviously took that because of the summons that I'm building around. Those bullets have 2% chance per rank to inflict burn or freeze. Probably applies to your summons as well, but I wasn't going to go for it, so I just stuck with this. Enemies take 3% extra damage while in your vision range. This was actually built around a glare. This is probably, actually no, this is probably the only option that actually works here. You don't shoot your ammo, you freeze and burn 50 times, you gain fire rate and reload rate. So if you're doing the Pacifist, this is kind of like your only option, right? 5% chance to spread per rank, so 25% chance to spread burning or frozen to nearby enemies when they die, which is insane. I did think about taking this gun glyph, but I did not know if it would ruin the achievement, so I didn't. HP at half, this is probably what I'm going to start leveling up here soon, and after I kind of finish these last rows, I do want to rock glass cannon really hard on some of these builds. So we'll check that out another time though. But if you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you do need help with this pacifist achievement, that's, you know, just pretty much gave you a full run through on how that goes. Didn't seem too difficult as far as I'm concerned. Probably a few dodges in there that require like an ounce of skill, but most of the time it's laid back. You don't even shoot. So I hope that helped you guys. If you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. I do plan on producing more videos of this game and other games of the sort. New to YouTube, so, you know, trying to get out there and see what it's like and see if I enjoy it. So if you made it this far, I appreciate you. Have a great day, and I will see you guys later. Peace.